Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Devils United. I know we're doing it a little bit later. Just had something I needed to do, but we're back, and we will be doing who should be Manchester United's next captain, as Harry Maguire yesterday stood down as the captain. He was informed by Eric Ten Hag that he's no longer in the plans to be the captain. So we'll have a quick look and then we'll discuss it in detail, and then everyone in the chat can say who they would prefer as the captain. Good evening, Rafael. Thank you for coming in. Hope you are well. Big scoops on United. Do your best. Hit the like, share, subscribe. Exactly what Ravi has said there. Got the latest on Man United men, women, and football itself. Hey there, Reese. Thanks for coming in. Hope you are well. Definitely eager myself to see who the captain's going to be. Ravi said, mate Martinez the captain. He has the qualities. Reese said, Martinez will be a very quick choice, although I'm not against it. Feels like afternoon. Hey there, Sean. Thanks for coming in. Hope you are well. Bruno for me is the right choice for Varane or Martinez as the vice. So we'll read Harry Maguire's statement first of all, what he has said, and then we'll go into some details of the potential options. I have narrowed it down to 4. I know some people have mentioned Rashford as a potential captain. I will, if people want me to slightly touch on Rashford, I can do. Because personally, I didn't think he would be a choice. But if people think that is gonna be an option and would like me to discuss Rashford, just let me know. I could touch on it slightly, but I think it is gonna probably most likely be an unlikely option anyway. But let's go on to Maguire's statement, which got announced yesterday. What got announced yesterday. Maguire, after discussions with the manager today, he has informed me he is changing captain. He outlined his reasons to me, and whilst I'm personally extremely disappointed, I will continue to give my all every time I wear the shirt. So I wanted to say a massive thank you to all the Manchester United fans for their brilliant support whilst I've been wearing the armband. Since the day I took over the role 3.5 years ago, it's been a huge privilege to lead Manchester United, and one of the proudest moments of my career to date. It's one of the greatest honours in club football. I've done everything I possibly could to help Manchester United be successful on and off the field. I'll also always be grateful to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for giving me the responsibility, and I wish whoever now takes it on every success, and they have my full support. Harry. I think for me, with that statement regarding Harry Maguire, I don't know. I've never known someone to write a statement to say, "Oh, I'm not going to be the captain anymore." Maybe it's just me, but maybe things have changed in so many years. But I can't. I've never known it, and if he wants to write a statement, fair enough. That's his choice. But I think that's gonna probably be his best moment lifting the Carabao Cup, because let's be real when we say this, is he doesn't really have many memories as a captain. Don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people say Harry Maguire isn't captain material, and I completely agree with that. He isn't captain material. But we need to also look at when Maguire was first captain, there was no leader there on that pitch, and I think for me is he just got given that responsibility knowing he's already been it for in England, and I'm sure he's done it for Leicester too, so he's already got that experience in the past. And let's be real, not many people would turn down being the captain. Anyone who's strong-minded and strong-willing would be happy to be the captain. as much as Harry Maguire does get a lot of stick, he does have a strong mindset. So, I think at that time the captaincy was right, but I think personally for me, in my opinion, I think he had it for too long. I would have personally given it it took off him a few years ago, after the Greece incident, and then I would have moved it on then. But he got kept on hold of it. I know Ten Hag was giving him that last opportunity last season as the captain, but we know Harry Maguire is the most underused defender last season. Whilst most other defenders in the Manchester United team was averaging out 1,500 minutes, Maguire was only averaged out around 700 minutes. So it's a big, massive drop off compared to all the other defenders that we do have. So it clearly shows that he isn't in the plans. The manager isn't wanting to keep him, and I think for me, as a captain, you need to be used on a weekly. You need to be used week in, week out. You know, as a captain, you need to be where you should be one of the first people on that team sheet, unless you're injured. And last season we hardly seen Harry Maguire in that score sheet, that team lineup. So I think it was the right call to take him off, personally, in my opinion. Mays, does Bruno actually want the captaincy? Yes, he does want the captaincy. He has got captain material as well. He was a former Sporting captain. He has capped for Portugal before as well. So he has got some great experience of being a captain. I will show you. If I can bloody find it. So this is obviously going to be an old picture, but we can see here with Bruno Fernandes, he was the ex-captain for Sporting as well. And I think for me is you want to have a player who's got the experience and the captain material. And I think Bruno, from the beginning, he has always had that captain's material. He did lead Sporting to their last trophy for Ruben. So I think he's more than up for it. He's been the captain all season when Maguire's not played, and he's shown at the highest level he can be the captain. So I think 100% he's been the vice captain. He's been a joint captain with Maguire. He's going to want to be the captain now on a full-time basis. What is captain? Someone who leads the team. I don't think Rashford is captain material. Could that be Harry's PR team writing that? No clue, to be honest. Who would you want to give the captain to? I'll discuss it in detail today, Sean. Martinez captain and Bruno or Casemiro vice be a decent option. Be Bruno because he's always available and been captain before, unlike Licher. Hey Niall, thanks for coming in. Hope you are well. I don't need to apologise. You know, work always comes first as well, and I appreciate the support. Does Maguire want to be captain? I think he did want to be captain. I don't think he really wants to leave Manchester United from what I've been reading. So I think it's a bit of he'll feel like it's a bit of a kick in the teeth for him. Hey there, Daz. Thanks for coming in. Hope you are well. Let's sport into a cup as well. That's exactly what I've said. And he played the most minutes by De Gea, I believe. He only missed 4 games this season, and we lost all 4 games. Bruno captain, he's a leader, and I'm not a lover of goalies being captain. Neither am I. I completely agree with that. I don't think we do have a goalkeeper who could be a captain anyway, to be fairly honest, but I like my captain to see everything on the pitch. And I think with a goalkeeper, you are quite restricted of what you can really see. the same reason I don't like a striker being a captain either. Would you give Sancho the captain? No, I wouldn't. He's already got enough pressure as it is, so I think he needs support more than anything. What is a captain under Ten Hag for you? It's just the same as ever. Just because it's Eric Ten Hag, a captain isn't going to mean anything different. It's still going to be a leader, the person who you look for in the dressing room, the one who's going to support the youngers and all the other people. So a captain is just basically the same as what you'd see in Jordan Henderson, what you'd see in Odegaard, what you would see in trying to think of other captains, what you'd see. Trying to think of all the bloody captains now. What you'd see in Ward-Prowse, what you would see in any other captain in the Premier League, in other leagues, they're all just the exact same, but they play for different clubs. They'll hold the exact same responsibilities. Hey there, Vincent. Thanks for coming into the chat. Hope you are well. So we'll talk with the most obvious one, who's most likely to be captain, is Bruno Fernandes. We did see this here by Fabrizio today is understand Bruno was rejected more than two approaches from the Saudi League 1 month ago. Don't know why he's only mentioned it now. It's only Manchester United for Bruno, who's expected to become the next permanent captain. I think that just really shows because he did play as the captain for the majority of the games last season. He's been a reliable player, not just over the years in terms of the goals and assists. He's been reliable in terms of he supports a lot of people. He's there for a lot of people. He's the first person there to defend the teammate. He is first one there in the what's it called? He's one of the first people there when it comes to training. He's a very popular person in the dressing room. So I think it was always going to be obvious for Bruno. He did have the most, how can I say, he did look the most likely one for years to being the captain because he was one of the more vocal ones in the pitch. But I do think for me it's going to be probably a more wiser choice. He's had a bit of a, how can I say, experience this season because giving him the vice captaincy and using it for the majority of the games, it's worked. And I think Bruno has played more as a team player this season, and that's what you kind of want. And I can remember a few times where he's defended Sancho, he's defended Garnacho. You could a lot of people, and he's one of them kind of players. He's happy to speak to the public. He's happy to speak in interviews and say, look at this, look at this, look at this. This is how I felt today. This is how I felt the team played today, and that's what you kind of want in a leader. You want someone who can say, right, I think we wasn't at our best, but we need to do this. This was a great performance. I'm happy with this. This has been good. This person's played well. I think he's a very supportive person in that dressing room, and as I say, a very popular person also in that dressing room. Vincent Maguire had more chances of coming the captain of Titanic 2 than being a Man United captain ever again. I think for me, he has been very lucky with the captaincy, if you want me to be fairly honest, to have it for such a long time. But I think he should have been stripped a while ago. Maisy, does Bruno, a lot of Man United fans say he moans a lot. I agree. I do think he does moan a lot. And he is one for diving. I've held my hands up and said Bruno has moaned. Bruno has dived. And I'm not gonna come on this stream and be an hypocrite. I'd say he hasn't done this, but you need to look at what the team is like without Bruno. We need to look at as well is you want someone, as if you're on a team, you want your leader, your captain to support you, to respect you, and you give them the mutual respect back. Bruno respects everybody in that dressing room. Everybody respects Bruno back. He supports everybody on that pitch through thick and thin. I've always said he needs to cut out his moaning. He needs to cut out on his diving. But I think a lot of people just look at that, and that's where they criticise him. They don't look at his overall play. They don't look at the support he's given to younger players, because he's got a very close relationship with Kobe Mainoo. He's got a close relationship with Alejandro Garnacho and Amad Diallo. And I think, for me, a captain should be there supporting the younger generation of players. And I think Bruno has all the attributes and he's got the experience. Maguire, he's going to be a miss for United. Don't know how sarcastic that is, Sean, but no, he's not. Maisy got 5 people in the league already. That's great. I haven't set my league up yet just because I don't really do it until like a week or two before, a couple of weeks before the Prem starts, because I want to wait till a lot more signings come through anyway. Hey Luca, thanks for coming in. Hope you are well. I'm very well, thank you. Hope you're well also. Man United should captain Martinez should be the Man United captain. Bloody hell, I think Luke's been hanging around with Holly Willoughby, and are you okay? Pal, have you been lied to? What? I have no clue. I don't have a clue what's going on. MUFCMais. Can Mount be the captain of Man United in the future? No. I wouldn't give it to Mount. I think he's already got the big responsibility of that 7 shirt, and as much as I like him, he's got a lot of things to prove upon. He needs to have a bit of a redemption, and I think to give him the captain's set, I don't think it's a good idea. I think there's a lot more leaders at the moment, because the ones I'm going to go into today, and some people have said Luke Shaw as a potential captain, and that could be an option also. This is the agenda curtain jerkers. Yeah, so that's Bruno. Looking like the most likely captain, but we are going to get, of course, a vice captain as well as a vice captain as well as a brand new captain. So we'll talk on to the next one now. Rafael Varane. Varane actually has captained a few games, but there were pre-season games. He's captained the Old Trafford game last season in pre-season against Rayo Vallecano. And he did also captain the game the other day, what was played against Leeds. I do think Varane is a great character. He's a winner. He wants to win everything that he possibly can. And I think for me, I personally think for me is Martinez played that game against Leeds, and he also played that game against Rayo Vallecano. And I personally think, in my opinion, I don't know if obviously people think the same as me, but I think if for instance that Ten Hag is looking at Martinez being the captain, he would have given him the captain at least in the pre-season. So I think for me is as much as Martinez could be a captain, I don't know whether he would, just because Varane has been given the captaincy twice in pre-season in 2 different years over Martinez. But we'll read this as well, because this was when Varane captained the last game. It was an honour. Varane responds to question about Man United captaincy. Man United defeated Leeds 2-0 in their opening game of pre-season. Raphael Varane captain from the start. So we can see here that picture of Varane. Varane has admitted it was an honour to captain Manchester United against Leeds in a friendly Wednesday afternoon. Man United kicked off their pre-season game. We don't need to read that stuff, to be fair. Varane captained the side from the start, and he wore the shirt with the name McQueen etched on the back ahead of kickoff as a tribute to the great Gordon McQueen, who sadly passed away last month at the age of 70. McQueen represented both Man United and Leeds in their career, and a minute applause was also in tribute ahead of the friendly. Um, Man United eventually won 2-0 thanks to the goals of Emran, Hugill, and Varane. Speaking after the game, discussed what wearing the armband meant to him. It was an honour for me to be the captain for the game, he said. I know Gordon McQueen was a legend of both clubs, so to represent the club as the captain for that occasion, for me, it's an honour. There was great respect from the fans too, so honestly, it was an honour. I think there is no friendly games, so we want to win, and the youngest players got the job done. So congratulations to them. We'll keep working hard to get ready for start of the new season. And then it was just talking about Maguire. So you're looking at there is again, he got given that captaincy. I think it was a nice touch to give Varane the captaincy. He's had that tiny bit of experience for France. He's had that experience again for Real Madrid. And I think for me is he pulled it off very well. He spoke very well in that interview after the game. And I think for me, you want a leader who's hungry, who wants more. Varane is definitely one of them. He wants to win the best. The only problem that I do have concerns is regarding Varane is something that I have seen today, which I am going to go into, is there was a tweet what was done, and the tweet was, Raphael Varane should be replaced this season. I explain here how his limitations on the ball could harm United this season and potential replacements for him. And I think for me, Varane is kind of becoming a new scapegoat in this Manchester United team. We already know Jadon Sancho is a big scapegoat. I have no clue why Varane's a scapegoat, because Varane and Martinez is the best centre backs we've had since Rio and Vidic, and it's kind of in a way like Man United fans don't know what they've got when they're there. And I think if Varane has not even become the captain yet, and he's getting this criticism, how's he going to be when he's going to be the captain? And the odd little slip up, they're going to hound him like a sack of crap. Like, as much as I'm not a fan of Maguire, the guy had bomb threats at his house. And it's not right at all at the end of the day. So that's my only concern with Varane being a captain, is that he is becoming the new scapegoat at Manchester United. Vincent, I did love the video of Mason Mount telling someone, the Man United fans, to F off because they knew he was after his autograph to sell them. I think for me, it's in the player's right to reject it. If he's seen that person 5 times since he's only joined what, last week or the week before, and to see the same person 5 times, it is iffy. I know, like, a lot of Man United women players get really hounded, so I think anyone is in the right to say no. They don't have to do something that they don't want to do at the end of the day. So I think good on him, if you want me to be fairly honest. Not now, the future for Mount. Again, I don't think that he's not one person. Yes, he demonstrates great captain material, but there's a lot more leaders who are in a better position than Mason Mount. And this man here hopefully is running SVT TV. Casemiro would be quality vice. So what if he's English and great? I think he would be a great vice captain as well. But I can see why people do say about the language barrier. But I think maybe his language is English speaking maybe better than people think. Because you look at, for instance, like some people adapt so well. Like Varane could already speak English when he first joined Man United, and Bruno was very fluent English as well. And I think the only ones I can think of, at the top of my head, who wasn't fluent when they first joined was Valencia and Martial. Martial still doesn't speak it, so, and neither did Valencia when Valencia was there for easily 10 years, I'd say. So, Dalot, what quality does he have for being a captain? Let's joke, rather. He's literally got no qualities to be a captain. Great point, Maisy. If Martinez is considered, he needs to lead out. Hey there, Anshu. Thanks for coming in. Hope you're well. Yeah, it's a nice touch. Both clubs captain wore McQueen 5. That was a sport event on strike because of the Queen. No, McQueen's got nothing to do with the Queen. It's a footballer who played for United and Leeds. This is nothing to do with the Queen. Varane, what qualities does he have for vice captain? He's a leader. He's hungry. He's determined. He's a serial winner. You need to look at all them qualities, and on top of that, he's very vocal on that pitch. If something's not going right, he's the first one to shout it. Him and Martinez both shouting all over the pitch. Get here, baby. That's what you want. You want them to direct you to say, right, you're going here. Point here. Go here. Go here. Go here. That's what you want as a captain to tell. To kind of say to your team when you're doing bad, when you're doing poor, and when, like, I remember that season, like, when Man United defended so well, we took it out for a throw-in or a corner. You seen Varane running up to Dalot, hugging him and high-fiving him. The same with Martinez, and the same with Wan-Bissaka, doing it up to all three of them. So I think for me, having someone who is able to praise you when you're good, able to give you the right directions when you need it, that's the kind of captain you need. This pointless scapegoating is ridiculous. Casemiro is another. Leadership, experience, a winning mentality, and Varane has appreciation for his opportunities. Sean, if a player can't do well, they don't deserve a captain. Stalking him, it seems, fan can be creepy. Any sport mainstream star, their fans are weird. Valencia preferred not to speak English and was a good captain. Mays, it seeks United have a few candidates for captain. And vice, absolutely. Rio Ferdinand come out and said his missus had a baby. That's cute. So we'll go now on to the next one. Casemiro. So we're gonna read a little bit of an article here. So, Bruno Fernandes faces competition to be the next Man United captain as teammate throws hat in the ring to replace Harry Maguire. Casemiro is ready to fight it out with Bruno Fernandes to be Manchester United's next captain. Boss Eric Ten Hag has been weighing up who should be the Red Devils' skipper next season, with Maguire likely to stand down. There's a picture of Bruno and Cass. Portuguese Fernandes is favourite to get the armband, but his fellow midfielder Casemiro also sees himself as a leader. The Brazil ace 31 picked up a wealth of experience during nearly a decade at Real Madrid and admits he enjoys being the main man. He said, I like having this role, being a leader, caring, being like a father, going through things. I like to set an example, be the first one to arrive. I like to play this role. The captain's armband is nothing more than a symbol, but the players have the responsibility to talk to the referee, to the players. I like to be that example player. Casemiro also revealed how the chance to leave Real Madrid and join United last summer came to a perfect time. He told Brazil Sports magazine it was a chance to leave a big club on top at an age that still allowed me to have that willpower. If it was 2 or 3 years from now, I wouldn't leave Real Madrid to go to another big one. I wouldn't have that ambition to change leagues and leverage another giant club. But Casemiro, loving the challenge of the Premier League, and said it's exactly what I thought. The main thing, there's no easy games. The first place plays last, and they're not sure who's winning. Oh, that's a bloody short article. Like, you thought there was something more on there, but yeah. So as we can see here, he said, I like having this role, being a leader, caring, being like a father and going through things. So for me, I think that just really shows he likes to be that bit of a father figure. And I can imagine he probably is a father figure to a lot of players. But I think for me is, I think he will be another one who's a great captain. The same qualities as what Varane has got as the captain, hungry, determined, wanting to do better, wanting to win trophies. So yeah, I completely think that Casemiro was another great option going forward to be a captain. I am going to put a poll in the chat, see what people say. So give me one moment. So, okay, so I've put the poll here in the chat on who you think should be the next Man United captain. So you can say in the chat what you think, and then we'll end the poll at the end, and then we'll see what people say. Ravi, does the captain always have to be older? No, not necessarily. Bruno isn't that old. I know like Varane and Casemiro are one of the older figures, but Bruno isn't really old. He's still in his 20s. So it doesn't necessarily have to be older, but from what I've been hearing in America, the oldest person is apparently the captain. So it doesn't matter. Whoever's the oldest person on that pitch on that day is the captain, which is mad to think. Hey there, Raja. Thanks for coming in. Hope you are well. Got to be Bruno for captain. The whole point of the captain, you have tie on your man and play probably. A captain needs to be someone players look into. Crunch moments and are professionals. Nothing to do with sticking in their men. Will the captain at United still be able to get the crowd going when gearing up in games? I think so. I think regardless what captain we are, it's not the. Let's be real. When I do say this is, old people don't go to Old Trafford to watch a captain. They come to watch the team. So it's not going to be the captain that gears up the crowd. It's the team that gears up the crowd, not the captain. And Manchester United, regardless, can gear up the crowd at Old Trafford. So it's not necessarily that. It's the captain who can do it. I think the whole team can do it. Still find it funny. People said it was a mistake to sign him. Idiots, real idiots. Rajat said, not Martinez captain. He'll get overexcited to be captain. We'll discuss Martinez in a second. But I think for me, I did say it a bit earlier on, is I think if Ten Hag had any kind of way of someone being Barthez being the captain, he would have at least tested it in pre-season, and he hasn't done it for the past 2 seasons now. Both the times when it's possible, Varane's been the captain. So I think he does see Varane as more as a captain material than Martinez. But I do think Martinez is a fantastic player. I think he's hungry. He does have something for the future, but I don't think right now. Casemiro as captain, players would poo themselves. Vincent, Forest Green sat there, manager. They must have found out she likes me. Yeah, from what I've been hearing, she's supposed to be. She was supposed to be interim, from what I've been hearing, but that's funny. Can Casemiro be vice and Bruno be the captain? I think that would be a fantastic option, and they're both like best mates anyway, so I think that would work very well. Give it to Bruno, passing the ball, scoring the goals. Lisandro will be a solid captain, leading from the back, but Bruno is the right shout. So we'll go on to the last one now, which is Lisandro Martinez. There hasn't been anything in particular where Martinez has said he wants to be a captain. I've already mentioned about Varane as to I don't think he is going to be a captain for Man United. I think it's going to probably be on the least likely side. But a lot of people on social media are wanting Martinez to be a captain. I just think that they don't see him as the captain at the moment, Ten Hag personally. Maybe in a few years' time. But this article here Martinez has been compared to two Man United icons. I'm tipped to be future Man United captain by the great. Manchester United defender Lisandro Martinez has been compared to club legends Steve Bruce and Nemanja Vidic amid his first brilliant season at Old Trafford. God's sake, as much as I think Steve Bruce is a fantastic defender, he's getting compared to Steve Bruce. Hopefully, he don't have the same managerial experience as Steve Bruce. Argentine became one of Ten Hag's first signings after choosing to leave Ajax, similarly to Manchester United boss. Upon his arrival at the theatre of dreams, questions were raised by pundits as to whether he would be able to cope with the intensity of the Premier League due to his height. Bullcrap, man. However, the 25-year-old quickly established himself in the starting lineup and had managed to become a first-team regular alongside Varane, leaving captain Harry Maguire on the bench. Former Reds centre-back Gary Pallister he had also first concerns with Martinez, but he believes that the defender has proven the doubters wrong. He explained, listen, when you hear we sign a 5'9" centre half, you raise your eyebrows. Then you go and play him in the first game against Brentford with Ivan Toney. You're a bit sceptical because your probably isn't the ideal game for him to go and make his Premier League debut in. But that apart, he's been magnificent, and he's got the warrior mentality that someone like Steve Bruce or Nemanja Vidic had. The fans have really taken to him. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's tough. I'll tell you what else he is. He's a really good passer of the football. I think with Varane, you have found that silk and steel, which you've probably been the secret to good partnerships at the back in the past for Manchester United. So yeah, he's been terrific. He's a possible future captain in waiting. I've got nothing but positive things about Martinez. I think he's quickly become a fan's favourite. He's quickly become integral into the team, and he's certainly one of the leaders on the park in the way he conducts himself and play the game. So yeah, thoroughly impressed. So we're reading that with Gary Pallister, and I think for me is with Gary Pallister, I think he's absolutely spot on. I think I agree. He was proven. He did prove a lot of people wrong, Jamie Carragher, about his height. He has demonstrated some great leadership skills, but I think right here, right now, we have got other options. As much as I think Lisandro's fantastic, just let him embed into the team a bit more. I know he's had a horrible injury, which it was a shame that he picked up the injury that he did. So just let him have a great second season, see how he gets on from there. But if he becomes long term at Manchester United, there's no reason why he couldn't become a captain. Lol, Mays, not too sure what's funny. Mays, for you, does the captain have to step up in all games, not just important games? A captain does step up in all games. A lot of captains have stepped up in big games, even if they haven't had the best of games. They'll step up in every other areas in the dressing room, in the bench, with other people. So it's not just about stepping up in their performances, but they need to step up for being the right person for for the team. Would Onana be a captain? Oh, not just yet. We'll have Casemiro and Bruno ahead of him. Who wrote this? Gary Pallister was the one who said it all. Good article. I agree with everything what's said. Gary Pallister was another one. A great leader. Didn't need to be captain, but he acted like one. Some Arsenal fans say Odegaard goals missing in games and not very vocal. Does the captain have to be vocal to show they're a great leader? Not necessarily, but they need to defend the team when it's needed to be. They need to be great in the interviews. And I think the thing is, Harry Maguire was quite criticised for not being vocal. Like, he never even spoke in interviews, and you want that as a bare minimum for a captain if they're not sticking up for players on the pitch. Man United have many leaders on the pitch, why only one? That's a very good point. Rajat was with the women's side, Matt Skinner had a leadership group, and he said, right, I've got a leadership group with 4 or 5 people, Katie Zellum, Hayley Ladd, Anna Badger, Heather Mannion, they're all my captains. So if Katie Zellum, she's the main captain. If the other one, if she doesn't play, one of the other 3 could be captains. And I think a captain, a kind of a leadership group isn't actually an overall bad thing. Just to say, oh look, like, I've got a captain here, got a captain here, got a captain here, and I think that could actually work in Manchester United's favour. But I think realistically, we do have many leaders on the pitch, and I think to be a good team, you do need to have plenty of leaders, because you're looking at, for instance, Liverpool in their prime season when they won the Prem, they won the Champions League. They had leaders all over that pitch. You had Jordan Henderson, they had Van Dijk, they had Alisson, they had Mo Salah. So I think you need them kind of leaders. Plenty of leaders for me on the pitch. I was laughing at the manager experience comment. A captain can be quiet but still command respectfully. May KSC Declan Rice video for Onana. Well, I might just do that. If he signs, when he signs, I might do that. You'll see, Raja. Maisy, do some of the media ask stupid questions to get a reaction out of players? I think it's not necessarily just ask stupid questions to the players. They do ask stupid questions to managers. I think they just want to try and get answers what, as you say, annoys people, but also try and get some inside digs as well. So you see media's also ask it to managers as well, and it got to the point like years ago when Fergie banned the media, didn't it? So it ever got that bad? I think that should be a route Manchester United should take again. Mays should make a video for an Arna chant. Yeah, so there was these odds here, what was announced on who could be the next captain for Manchester United, and they put it in odds. So okay. Doug, hey there, Doug. Thanks for coming in. Hope you're well. What did the grapes say when it was stepped on? Nothing. Let out a little whine. Oh, Doug. That's a bad joke. Oh, you always come out with some quality dad jokes. When he comes, we need to do a welcome to Manchester United, but a red one, and put it in time for revenge. Oh, I love that, Vincent. Maisy singing on a chant. Yeah, so here's the odds for the next Manchester United captain. So this always has happened every time I move this thing. Right, so Bruno Fernandes is the odds to be the next captain, has the highest odds as 1-2. So then Casemiro next was 7-2. One we haven't touched on, Marcus Rashford 5-1. Personally, for me, I don't think Marcus Rashford really demonstrates captain material at the moment. I think for me, he is a one-man club, demonstrating because he signed a new 5-year deal, which is going to get announced soon by the club. But I think for me, you've seen plenty of people who's been a one-man club. Doesn't necessarily mean they're a captain. So I don't think he's got that captain material for me. Lisandro Martinez 12-1. Raphael Varane 16-1, and Scott McTominay 25-1. Scott McTominay actually was he was actually a captain in one of the games for Man United, in the FA Cup game, and I think we actually won that game. He was actually in the 2021, so I'll show you that too. The actual tweet, the actual article Scott McTominay, the armband was a huge honour. Scott McTominay says it's a surreal moment when he was told he will captain Manchester United in Saturday's third round game against Watford, but added responsibility didn't overwhelm the midfield. His early headed goal proved to be decisive in the 1-0 win and secured Manchester United's place in the last 32. He was given the armband as Ole Solskjaer chose to rotate his squad and start Maguire on the bench, although Maguire was introduced just before half-time for the injured Eric Bayer. For the academy graduate, McTominay, who passed 100 appearances for the club earlier this season, it was his journey through the ranks making the lead-outs to the team so special. Speaking to BT at full time, Scott said, "For me, when the manager told me that I would be the captain, it was a surreal moment. Obviously, being at the club since I was I've just turned 5, so basically 18, 19 years. I've been associated with club football. That's for me a huge honour. I absolutely love this football club, and it's been my life for almost been my life. So yeah, it's a real honour." I think for me, I think it's clearly obvious Scott McTominay isn't going to be the captain. He isn't going to be the captain. I think that's obvious. So there's no point in discussing that because it is currently under uncertainty as to what's going to be happening with Scott McTominay's future, as West Ham are currently interested too. Maisy loves a sing-song and chant even if it's mocking the Scousers. How does the moon cut its hair? It eclipses it. Oh, dearie me. Lots brown and stick hair. A stick. Oh, where are you getting all these jokes from, guys? I have an inferiority complex. It's not a very good one. Hey there, Oddly007. Thanks for coming in. Hope you are well. May's looking like a cute 1-year-old baby. Well, thanks very much, Adler. Yeah, so let's have a look at the poll. So we had 10 votes in. We've got Bruno on 70% as the captain, Martinez in second with 20% as the captain, Casemiro in third with 10% as the captain, and Varane hasn't had a single vote. So we'll end that poll here because it's quite obvious that Bruno is going to be the more preferred one to be the captain. With that, after discussing it all, we will wrap it up. Thank you all for watching. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. I've really enjoyed the show, so thank you all very, very much. Been good to speak about Man United in a bit more detail. 2 men walked into a bar, the third one ducked. Terrible. Eric Ten Hag will make the right choice, I'm sure. Exactly. Completely agree with this, brother. Ten Hag is going to make the right choice. If people agree with it or disagree, doesn't really matter because it's his decision he wants to do. And he could even bring in a brand new sign and pick them instead. We just simply don't know. So we'll just have to see on how we get on with that. And Ten Hag's going to pick it based on who he trusts. And I think Ten Hag has built some trust with a lot of these players. So thank you very, very much, rather. I will be next live now on Wednesday for the player profile. That one's going to be discussing Will Fish's loan on Hibs. And that's going to be at 8 o'clock. So go and check that out. And then I'll be live next on after that on the Friday for the player profile, the weekly transfer show. So thank you all very much. Take care, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.